that American soccer fans, most of them aren't smart. They don't know the game. They don't understand.
Gio.
That guy gazpacho.
Sports can take a lame gorilla, okay?
Right, did you know that Arsenal died?
He's got me buzzing.
Up the Toffees. It's hard to up them anyway.
I'm not even gonna comment on that. Welcome back to Footy with the boys. We have one of the podcast hosts walking away, and he's coming back in a dramatic entrance to this one. Boys, we have a hell of an episode. We'll, of course, go through the big news, check in on our Gunner and Toffees here of their matches this weekend, and then we're all here for a little US men's national team preview. Pochettino and the boys are back. Pulisic is flying high. Haji Wright back from injury. I mean, things are looking up for the US men's national team as we head into Nations League semifinal versus Panama. We'll get you ready for that. And of course, the WONDERGRID. If you don't know, you are about to know.
Oh, yeah.
The WONDERGRID is a beautiful thing, and we love to do it here. Make sure to play along, and in the comments, let us know what type of polls you were thinking of as we go through it. Let's start with the big news. The big news is that City is shit. City could be teetering on the side of not getting into Champions League, which is a lot of revenue that they'd be missing out on, Nick. That charges, especially after a January window where they spent, I believe the correct amount is a shit ton. That's not going to go well for FIFA Financial Fair Play. It hasn't been going well even when they were in Champions League. They're getting pushed here by a Brighton team that just beat them and Newcastle as well. Are we maybe sleeping on Brighton? I feel like people are super high on them. Regressed. But they just beat a Man City team that, maybe not in the best form, or tied a Man City team that not in the best form, but still Man City.
Still Man City. I think Brighton. I think I underrate them, but that's just because I'm not a big Hertzler fan. After his little cheeky comments in that early Arsenal game, Houston-born, deep ties to the Americans. The biggest news I thought from this game, though, which we should have gotten down there, but apparently Haaland saying he might try to force a move to Madrid there if there's no Champions League football available at Manchester City. And if you tell me Man City doesn't qualify, I believe you pretty easily, actually, even though Chelsea just dropped some points this weekend too. But is Nottingham Forest the favorite of those three to finish in the top four? What a world we live in.
What a world we live in. I saw Man City had a $300 million offer once again from Saudi Arabia for Vinny. If you spin Vinny for $300 million and then get Haaland with Mbappe, that is just... Mbappe gets to play on the wing, which he wants. You get Haaland up top. I mean, that'd just be ridiculous. And to pay $300 million for Vinny is whatever. It's a big weekend for us Toffees, Mike. Even though we didn't necessarily look the greatest in our game, we did get Newcastle helping us out by beating our rivals, Liverpool. Liverpool now potentially one trophy with this team, with how they've been performing. Out of the Champions League, lost to Newcastle here in the EFL Cup. I mean, it's pretty damn certain they're going to win the Prem, but still, it's a tough run. I thought they were going to kind of run the table, get a few trophies here in Arne Slot's first year, and they're looking so well, but there we go. There goes that man, Alexander Isak, potential future gunner there. Nick, how you feeling about
Liverpool? Their season just really changed here in a week. I thought you were asking me the question, then you transitioned to Nick, so I'm going to jump in. I don't know what you're doing.
I don't know if there was a question.
Go back to the bathroom, Mike. Shut up.
Yeah. One question at a time. Liverpool season really changed here in a week. Or 2 weeks. Both PSG games obviously had their focus, played their best 11, and then they had to play their best 11 here against Newcastle. Newcastle has really been focusing on this competition. You could tell, rotating their squad in league matches, really prioritizing getting a piece of silverware. And they fucking did it. They haven't won something since the 50s. I can't remember exactly what year. So none of their living fans, except for the geezers, have ever seen them lift anything. And they finally did it here. They were winless against Liverpool in final competitions, something crazy, large number. And they fully deserved to win. I mean, they were on Liverpool all game, out physicaled them, outworked them, and really had the better chances. Liverpool looked like a mess for the most part. The midfield was getting bossed. Van Dijk was doing everything, but Salah got pocketed again by Dan Burn. He has had such a tough couple of weeks. He's having a historic season. There's no doubt about it. You can't be too critical of him. But against PSG, Nuno Mendes had his number in both fixtures, took every ball off him, didn't let him create anything, and didn't end up on the score sheet with an assist or a goal, which is really hard to do. So credit to Nuno Mendes. And then Dan Burnett did it here in the final and also scored a great goal. So Liverpool, yeah, they'll probably win the Premier League, but it's a little bit reminiscent of last year when they had everything in their sights. They were eligible for all 4, and they walked away with 1. You definitely want the Prem over the Carabao Cup. It's more of an achievement, but they're going to be disappointed at the end of the season, at least some of the bigger players. But taking a big step back, Arne Slot's first season,
a big step.
You can't be too critical. Jurgen Klopp, he's assuming the squad
winning the Premier League.
You can't. But it is going to feel a little bit bitter at the end of the year, knowing what they could have achieved.
Well, to be fair, I mean, Arne Slot set them up pretty good. I think the Prem has kind of now adjusted a little bit to them. They haven't been on the same tear, and it truly was a generational Mo Salah carry. Like, I mean, the way he was playing was insane. And so, yeah, 2 weeks off because he's carried this team on his back for the entire season. I mean, no disrespect, they have other good players, but he was the one guy going above and beyond. And I mean, yeah, no wonder he got pocketed. He had to play these opponents in the past like 2 weeks with no rest, with carrying the team for the whole year. Rotation. I saw a stat that said like Nunez, Diaz, Yoda have like 3 goals in their last combined 40 games or something like that. Like that is not going to get it done. And when one guy gets too tired, like Salah clearly looks like he's burning out. I mean, they look like a much more vulnerable side. They're going to be the first half of the season was legendary. Everyone else kind of fell off. So they're going to win the title, but they almost win it by default. I wish they could have a good race here at the end. Just probably not going to happen.
I mean, by default of Mo Salah just absolutely being on a fucking heater all season, but I mean,
but it really was just him.
I mean, he is LeBron's a owner of Liverpool, and he's taught Mo Salah how to carry a team, put a team on his back.
Lucho started the season super hot, was one of the best wingers in the world, but then has kind of slowed down tremendously. And then Nunez and Jota are so dog shit. I mean, both of them suck so bad. Jota had a glare. I mean, he missed the goal by 30 yards wide, and he was on the 6-yard line. And Nunez is no better. I mean, these guys properly suck. They need to bring
Nunez is already in Saudi, bro. I mean, he's already gone.
Should be.
That's the next topic. Is Alexander Isak is now rumored to be a coveted asset between both Liverpool and Arsenal. Been Arsenal rumor for a long time. Liverpool getting involved here. I mean, we're talking about Salah being kind of alone and how much he's having to carry. If they get Isak, holy shit, that is some attack. If you get Lucho Diaz back to playing how you said at the start of the season, like he was another just star for them. If you get a front three of Lucho Diaz in form, Mo Salah just doing what Mo Salah does, and then Isak, especially the way he's been playing recently, is it their time to kind of have a reign over the Premier League? And Nick, do you think Arsenal spends the money to make sure that does not happen? Because I feel like if Isak goes there, that is not just not having Isak, but it's directly strengthening the rival.
Yeah, definitely. I think he ends up at Arsenal this summer. I'm putting my stake in the ground. It's starting to feel like too many reports are coming out that he is a clear-cut number 1 target now with our new athletic director. And it's starting to feel a bit Declan Rice-ish from a couple summers back of number 1 guy. We know it's going to happen, and this price tag is going to be huge. So I think he comes to Arsenal. Liverpool still have to worry about re-signing Salah. As far as like even if they do get Isak, like their dominance over the league. I mean, again, no disrespect, but how much longer can Salah keep doing this? Especially a guy who relies on so much explosion. Father time comes for us all, specifically in football and specifically in the legs. So, no, I don't think it would start some sort of reign of terror. And yes, I do believe he ends up at Arsenal this summer. That's just me calling my shot.
If I'm Arsenal, give him whatever it needs to get across the finish line and get Isak in there, because like we said, they need that attacking help, and Saka and Isak would also be one fucking crazy attacking duo up there. With Weah coming up and Odegaard, I mean, shit, man, it's not looking bad.
I expect any team that has the money to be in the race, because why wouldn't you? Outside of like maybe Haaland, this dude's the hottest striker in the world. His skill set's insane. Both feet, pace, over the top, everything. He's still on contract for a couple of years, so they're gonna have to pay a fucking bag, like 150 mil at least.
It's not gonna be 150, brother. Relax.
It's gonna
what do you think it's gonna be?
It's not. I bet it lands at around 100. 110.
I think.
Why would Newcastle sell for that?
Aren't they also in financial issues?
If they make Champions League, they won't be. But
they won't make Champions League, so that there's the issue.
Let's find out. We'll see. They're close here. They're close here. You could potentially see them in Champions League here down the stretch, and maybe that then impacts a lot about Isak and his future. We'll talk about Arsenal and what they did for their Champions League here. Closing out the big news, though, we do have some bad news for our CONMEBOL qualifiers. Both Neymar and Messi will not be playing in their respected World Cup qualifiers. So we won't see a Brazil-Argentina matchup with Neymar and Messi, which would have been cinema. But speaking of Neymar and Messi, Barcelona, for all those fans of Messi and Neymar, had a comeback versus Atleti. 0-2? No. How about 4-2? Comeback, score 4 goals on them in like 20 minutes, 15 minutes. It's just the Barca way. Lamine Yamal is just an absolute dog over there. So some are saying he's the next Kevin Sullivan. That's what people are saying. This is streets are saying. So I'm
Word on the
just repeating.
That's what I heard.
What they're saying.
I saw a great thumbnail somewhere that said that.
Yeah, maybe there's a
reputable, very reputable.
an account that's been on that.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, let's get into Arsenal here, because it was a weekend that maybe locked up Champions League top 4. I don't think that's necessarily what you're looking at. If you're an Arsenal fan, you get a win versus Chelsea. It's a big 6-win team that Chelsea has looked pretty good. Is this maybe the last game without Saka, and you're in the Champions League? You get past PSV. You're looking at that, getting Saka back, and I mean, Liverpool's out of the Champions League. I think that they were maybe my favorite running into it. So a big Champions League run here, getting some people back and getting some momentum here against a good Chelsea side.
Yeah, a Chelsea side that's been faltering, to be fair, but London derbies are never easy. Big 6 derbies are never easy. So huge win. Return of Corner FC. I thought part of the reason that we were able to, tread water early in the season is because of our set piece goals. That's kind of gone away here in the past month or two. So nice to see another one go in the back of net. A nice little flick header by Marino, who continues to be our starting 9, which, Jesus Christ, the state of this club. But yeah, you're right. The real main story, 3 points, yay, top 4, probably donezo. The real main story is this Champions League fixture and the main man coming back. It is not some people coming back in the fold. It is Bud. Oh my God. Blood clot Bukayo Saka back in the fold. The original star boy, now being surrounded by 2 little mini star boys in Nwaneri and Skelly, who have fully broken into this team. At the very least, Skelly has, and Nwaneri, you can argue, has as well. So, April 1st is our Fulham game. I'm expecting him to hopefully get a little cameo, maybe 15, 20 minutes. And then the big one on your boy's birthday, April 8th, at the Emirates versus Real Madrid.
Bang.
We're going to see that number 7 flying down the wing. There's a star boy running down the right. His name's Bukayo Saka, and he's fucking dynamite. He's back, baby. He's gonna score a banger. We all remember the goal against Bayern last year that put just stars in my eyes. He's gonna score another one, and we're not gonna choke it this time. So I'm predicting just a huge boost in confidence for the entire team with the main man being back, and we're taking down Madrid onto the semifinals, baby.
Heard it here first.
Nick, I can't lie. Arsenal has struggled against VAR this year so far. VAR Madrid. I mean, they just showed their power in the last round against Atleti with the 2 touches by
touch the ball twice.
Julian Alvarez.
That's Spanish officials, brother. If you don't think all the money in the Premier League, they're not going to call in some favors for us. That's what's happening. We're about to see a clash of corruption.
VAR calls back and forth. Just back and forth, the worst calls you've ever fucking seen, man.
A clash of corruption is what we're about to experience, and I got the Reds coming out on top. Arsenal is going to get it done. I feel confident. I think we're more of a team, and I think it's been a rough couple months. You're not wrong, and the goals have been hard to come by, but this team was stuck together through and through. And again, getting people I don't think remember just how important Bukayo Saka is to this team. We were piecing up boys with them, scoring goals left and right. Now we need flicked on headers from a converted 8 that's now playing a striker to score goals. Like he is everything to this attack. He is the attack. He's gonna be rested, and I mean, he's going to be focused on the Champions League. I wouldn't expect him to play full 90s in the Prem. What are we playing for at this point? So not unless Liverpool start to slide, and I don't see that big of a slide happening. So it's all in on the Champions League. And if you're telling me we're coming home with the trophy at the end of this, I mean, this season is 10 times a success more than whatever I could have hopefully imagined. That would be enormous.
Yeah, Champions League would make anything else an afterthought. Speaking of some VAR decisions, Mike, we go over to the Toffee time. David Moyes, 1 February Manager of the Month. A little golf clap for him there. What a job he's done turning around this club that, good God, was straining our mental health at the start of the season. And Jake O'Brien, speaking of mental health, the amount of things he's done in terms of late equalizers to help out Everton, gets another one here. But once again, like, controversy. Oh, Lart's playing. Well, I didn't know that was a thing. Controversy, once again, is not a penalty called. I'm going to just keep doing that as we go. No penalty called on VAR. How upset are you? On the VAR, they just showed one angle that didn't really show much 12 times in a row. And then the ref was like, all right, yeah, there we go. That was all I needed to see was one angle.
Yeah, I mean, they just don't have the budget for VAR for Everton games, apparently. They're like, we can look at one angle. We're going to take a tenth of the amount of time we take in any Big Six game. How many times you heard complaints about VAR taking forever? In the Everton games, it's like, we've seen enough. Time to go back to the game. And then no one makes a fuss about it. It's like no one cares. And it's obvious that it's an issue. That's an error. This one was bad. It was definitely a penalty. In my book, I'm biased, but I think any rational soccer fan thinks that's a penalty. Second time, at least, that it's happened this season. I'm dead set that the Manchester United one against Ashley Young is still a penalty. That's another one they fucked with the angles. They made it look like he flopped. He did definitely exaggerate it. But, yeah, man. I mean, it's bullshit. I hope, or I wish Moisey would get on the rest a little bit more about that. That's something Deitch definitely did. But we had to fight back anyway. No. Bring back Deitch to bitch at the fourth official. That's the only reason I want him, and for the tracksuits. But we fought back. Jake O'Brien been tremendous the second half of the season. Started playing every minute at that right back role. Thank you, Palmer. And a fantastic goal here to get the equalizer late. And the return of a bunch of players in this game. Broha came back, had a feature there. Trimiti played his first minutes of the season, which is super cool to see. Played with the lineup a little bit. We started Decore and Alcaraz this game instead of Lindstrom on the right wing there. Worked okay. We created some things. Beto was still a bit off the mark this game, but still putting in a shift, and the rest of the team was fine. The goal that West Ham scored was just a great piece of play from Jared Bowen to set up Souček.
Not the greatest
Say that again?
defending that nobody steps in and gets in the pass in
Loose
or the
defending,
shot.
but
Yeah,
I'd say that Bowen did
pretty-
enough there.
Yeah.
It was good enough. The streak stays alive. I mean, we're undefeated in 9 now, I believe, which is insane. West Ham's not a great team, but they're definitely solid, and we stay ahead of them in the table, which is super important. Look at that. Gray, and 1 green. Who do we play next? Palmer, would you pull that up for me?
That would be Liverpool. That would be the
right.
derby. The derby.
At Anfield. How miserable would Liverpool fans be after this run of form? And then they lose to their crosstown rivals at Anfield. I think we could do it. Honestly, there's a little bit of a rest week here, but we're going to be up for it. We have a rejuvenated squad.
I think we need the rest week. I think we need a little bit more energy in the legs, allow people to get a little bit healthier. Not so many
They need the
minutes
rest
on
week.
them every
We
week.
don't need the rest week, but they do. We'll take it anyway. We're going to be fresh. We're going to go out there. Yeah, man. Rest of the season, we're looking good. We're not playing for anything in particular because we're pretty safe, but how high can we climb?
I think it's just
That's all I can
getting
say.
momentum. Momentum for the next season and more faith in Moyes, more faith in the boys just in themselves to continue up the table and build into
Rumors
that
of
project
Souček.
there.
I did see rumors of Souček, who scored against us. I like
I saw
Souček.
rumors of
Good player.
Isak. He's coming in to replace Beto. We're just doing a swap, a trade. And
We sell
Newcastle
Brathwaite
will add in 100 million.
and every other player in our squad, we might be able to get 150 million.
Yeah.
Just barely. Thomas Souček would be a great addition. I like him.
I like him too.
Very gritty player. Comes up with
Him
goals.
and Garner, that's a good pivot, actually.
It would be. I think Ghana Gay is going to sign for another season as well. He's an older dude, but to give
He's
him
a
some
depth
rotation
guy.
would be great.
Yeah.
He's been phenomenal this season, but yeah,
I mean,
not
I
a
think-
long-term option going forward.
We have a lot of players that will be essentially signings just because they've been out with injury for spells. So just getting players back to health is going to be a lot of talent added to this team.
A lot of loan
So I think
players as
that's-
well. So we'll see who gets signed permanently. Lindstrom's on loan. Harrison's on loan. Broya obviously is on loan.
Harrison's staying.
We'll see. I mean,
Is
we'll
he?
probably loan him from Leeds.
If Leeds
for a
go
third
up to the
season in a
Prem,
row.
maybe they want him again.
It's just a definite
They would.
loan. I don't know. He's there's a reason he's not playing for them.
We'll see what's ahead for the Toffees. You know, I'd give Gio Reyna a shout. Get him in there. A little trident of Ndiaye,
Shout out
Alcaraz, and Gio Reyna.
Shout out young boy Harrison Armstrong
I'm
too.
listening.
He's on loan at Derby County. Scored his first senior goal of his career the past weekend. A late one for Derby County. Bosch lad.
Mike does love the young boys.
We do.
Yep. Jordan Shibashus, P Fox, previous club Young Boys is what we're referring to. Nothing else.
Yep.
Let's get into
Right, Palmer?
our segs with the guys. Boys naming dudes. We're playing a Wonder Grid here, boys.
Yes, sir.
If you guys are not familiar with the Wonder Grid,
Let's
we are going to
fucking
show on the screen here the logos and nationalities here of players. What we are trying to do is we have 9 guesses for 9 boxes here. We're trying to get the percentage of what people guess to be as low as possible, get the lowest score. We're playing golf here. We're the Tiger Woods of this. We are shooting for 200. I think we can get to 150. It is well known that there are some doubters of that, but we're shooting for 200 here, boys. This is a good grid. I'm liking this grid. American.
Read it off.
Ajax, AC Milan. On the other side of the grid is LA Galaxy, Borussia Dortmund, and Chelsea. I mean, this is the story of American players. The problem is so many of them come immediately to mind, but we need to think, like I said, what one is going to be the lowest percentage. So, boys, I'll open up the tapes here. There's a lot of answers that can be thrown out here. What are we thinking for low percentage shot that we want to start off with?
Slanina. Chelsea US.
I don't think he's played for Chelsea, bro.
But he's on Chelsea.
He's on their squad.
You have Matt Miazga. potentially. You have Caleb
I was
Wiley.
gonna
Matt
say
Miazga's a
Miazga.
good one.
I was gonna say Miazga. I think we
Who's
go.
the third one you said, Flex?
Caleb Wiley. But
He
he's been
also
loaned
hasn't
out to
played for them
Strasbourg
though.
immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's still
so-
technically owned by them, so I don't know if it counts. But I think
I know Miazga
played.
did play for
Matt
them.
Miazga definitely
Like in
played, and he's going to be super low.
No,
anyway.
he had like
Yeah,
he had actual.
Let's go
premiums for
Miazga.
sure.
Let's go Miazga.
Matt Miazga.
So bottom right
Yeah.
corner. Yep, Matt Miazga.
IAZ. There he is.
Yep, there he is, our boy.
Drum roll.
What's our percentage looking like? USA, Chelsea, Matt Miazga. Percentage is 25%.
Wow, that's
Damn.
super high. We should have gone Selena.
That's-
Dude,
Yeah.
I don't. That would have been risky. How about for LA USA we go Sebastian Lletget.
No, that's gonna be guessed. We need like
You just need a bench
What?
player, bro.
Who's gonna say
we just need a
Sebastian Lletget?
random. What up? Fuck. What is his name? Bradford
Omar
Jameson?
Gonzalez.
Morgan Gonzalez would be
I'm
fine.
trying to think of
Okay, wait.
No,
I have
he-
one
he's
poll in a
way too
different
popular.
area. Can I use my
Alexander
poll?
Bono. I'm just thinking of random players.
I have
Can we go
one.
Cole
I have one
Campbell?
deep cut. Yes, Cole Campbell definitely actually for Dortmund.
For
USA.
USA Dortmund.
Yeah, definitely. Let's do that one.
What was
Cole
the guy that
Campbell.
won the Champions League with them? Oh, okay, we could do that. Or Joe.
Yes.
What's his name? Gyu? Gyau? I think that might be lower.
Go Cole
Is
Campbell.
he a-
Cole Campbell's got to be.
all right.
Dude,
Cole
yeah,
Campbell.
come on.
He's on the team currently, so people
You're overthinking it.
Okay, 4%.
Yeah,
4 is
Good.
good.
I have one poll. if I may.
please.
All right.
Milan, Chelsea. Milan. One of just my absolute favorite midfielders when he was at Monaco. Something Bakayoko was an absolute destroyer.
Tamui
Oh,
Bakayoko.
Yeah, Bakayoko. And I know he played for both these teams. So I don't know how he won.
BAKA.
I feel like everyone's
was
going to
good
go
at Chelsea for a year.
Torres or Polo.
I remember
He
in
sucked at AC
FIFA,
Milan.
he was a dog. He was a
How
dog.
the
There's
in
a
Yeah.
FIFA.
ton of
fuck do you
options.
spell that?
BAKA. YO.
Tamui,
It's
the second one.
I think it's the second
Yeah.
one.
Okay. Ready?
Send
That
it.
has to be a good poll.
Yeah, it's a good poll for sure.
3.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's a great.
There's
one.
so many options, and Bakayoko is definitely top of the
Yeah.
list.
All right.
Do we want to do?
There's so many
Let's get
obvious
LA
ones.
Galaxy USA out of the way because it could be so many players.
Let's get what one out of the way?
LA Galaxy USA.
I think Alexander Bono or Jonathan Klinsmann, maybe. Or I'm just throwing out random.
Literally
ones.
anyone who's not an international.
Just a D tier LA Galaxy.
Yeah,
player.
pull a name flags, I guess. It just sometimes it rejects random names. You know what I mean?
Put in Bono, Bono.
Bono plays soccer.
Oh,
Put a
Jesus. That brought up way too many. It's Alex, AL. His first name.
There he is.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see.
Put my faith in flags.
Oh!
You
No.
fucking asshole! I told you, bro.
Oh,
I
God,
told you.
damn it.
What?
How do you
I
fuck that
told
up?
you. I told
You
you.
just
just
players.
screwed
I'm
us.
trying to think of a random player. I thought he played there.
Oh god. This is what.
Well,
Dude.
no.
Well, this is
Do
officially
legit.
scuffed.
This is stupid.
We
We
just said
can't
an
do-
MLS. We couldn't have an American MLS player.
Too
We
legit.
dude, we're trying to go pools here, Mike.
Dude,
come
he's
on.
gonna be solo. He's going
All right,
to be
let's see
solo.
legit. Let's see legit.
You
though.
already
How do I-
fucked us
how do I
anyways.
spell that?
Yeah, whatever. It's over now. We
I
fucked.
hate you.
How do I fuck it
LLE T.
GT.
You spell it.
Sebastian.
Look up Sebastian.
LLET.
AIAN.
We need a new producer so bad.
Dude, like you're fucking throwing all these
It's
random
LL,
fucking
LL.
names.
L.
There he is.
All right.
Yes.
Guarantee
I love
under
the boy.
10. Guarantee under 10.
One.
Fuck you, Flags.
Wow.
You're awful. You're awful.
Be a stronger man. Be a
It's
stronger
awesome.
man. Stand up for yourself.
I did. You guys yelled at me. God.
That's on Mike. He told me to go for a pull.
Portman, Dortmund, or do you just want to go the double Ibra
You're
in
at
the top?
133 right now.
Ibra.
Double. It's gonna be so high.
Hayer is Dortmund AX. But I don't know. He might be high.
Sebastian Haller, he's gonna be pretty high. He's gotta
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
I know Arsenal's keeper played for Milan and Dortmund. Our invincible guy, Lemon.
Okay, do we want to go with him? I feel like older
No.
players don't get guessed on here, so.
Yeah, he was a backup on Milan, I think, and he went to Dortmund after Arsenal.
All right. Ripper.
Jans, Jans, I think. LE. Maybe just JAN. LEH. How do you spell his name? You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
No.
Light.
The goalie from the Invincible side.
It's the second one. There he is. Jan
Oh,
Lehmann.
Lehmann. Oh.
Yeah. I think so. Pretty sure.
8.
All right, there we
You have a
go.
photo for him? What the fuck?
Picture, bro.
Boys, I fear that I may have really
retired.
fucked this up here.
I'm so mad at you.
But we still have a shot. We still have a shot. We don't.
I'm struggling to think of Dortmund Ajax players.
You're at 141 right now.
Did Bakayoko play on Ajax? No, he was a lot of good. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna eat the 100. Just eat it for Chelsea Ajax, right? I mean, whatever.
All right.
Let's go.
AC Milan, LA Galaxy.
Ibra.
Ibra's.
Ibra's going to be.
I think
LA Galaxy
Beckham's gonna
Ajax
be
as well.
well, because I don't think a lot of people think of Milan with Ibra. I think they're definitely gonna go Beckham.
Really?
Ibra played there twice.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
just
also
saying.
like the face of AC Milan right now.
Beckham was
I
also
feel
the
like Beckham
face
might even be like a strong one.
of the MLS until Messi. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, can you think of someone else? I can't think of
LA
anyone else.
Galaxy.
LA Galaxy AX Ibra.
Yeah, that's the only other one I could. That's the only one I
That's
think
the
of.
only guy I could think of.
Is there any Dutch players who played for LA Galaxy?
Yeah. Didn't they have a winger?
They've had plenty of wingers, that's for sure.
No, the guy they just signed. Oh no, he played on Genk.
Royce.
Never
No,
mind.
he was
played
Belgian
on
league.
Yeah,
Damn boys, I honestly have lost my steam since that Alex Bono. I'm looking at Bono.
Let's go Haller for the middle one. Does anyone have Dortmund AX? I think.
Yeah, Sebastian Haller. Fuck it.
Yeah. Go to the middle one, Flags. Or Palmer. HALL. HAL.
top one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Must be like 40. Something bad.
60. I'm guessing.
Oh!
89. Wow.
Jesus, might as well have just gotten that blank. Fuck me.
It's tough, dude.
Let's just start ripping answers. This is not our day.
Let's do Ibra. Fuck it. Just do Ibra.
We can only do Ibra once, but
I don't think you can do. I think you can do him twice.
no, you can only do it
Send it.
once. Yeah, just click her.
28?
It's not bad.
28's not bad.
Damn, that's pretty good.
We only have one guess.
Yeah, you can only
I say we just put it in hockey
Oh, we should-
Ziyech for Chelsea and Ajax and just
Yeah, that's fine.
run it.
What is his name?
ZIYE.
DIYECH.
It's top.
Yeah, there is Hakeem.
Yikes.
Ah.
Would have been 241 if we
341.
got a
Damn.
1%er.
83.
for Ziyech.
Go to Galaxy IX, guys. Show
Yeah,
summary.
it's-
Show summary.
How do we do this again?
3.
Galaxy.
Jesus
Only
Christ. Oh my god.
Who were they?
Oh, De
we
Jong,
would've had
bro.
The Young?
Oh, that sucks. He
Michel Van
did.
Damme?
Dude, I forgot about.
I mean, that would have been a big percent no matter what, because there's only 3 to choose
I had no
from.
idea Nigel De Jong played for LA Galaxy.
Yeah,
you
dude,
gotta-
like a year or two.
Somebody had a really bad red card in like one of his first games.
That was who he was.
Alex Bono played for Toronto.
Oh my
No,
god,
the
Toronto.
Ibra was 89. He would have been under 20. He would have been probably under 10. De Jong.
What?
Kaio Tomori was number 1 for that. Wow.
I mean, he's currently there, and pretty recent switch on over. So
who's that? Wait, can you go to Chelsea Ajax? I want to see who else.
Ajax.
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 Oh, Bernard Traore. That's a pull. That's a pull.
Laudrup. Yeah, you know, not our best grid. I know there's people in the comments that are
Oh.
Screaming at us. Yeah.
Yeah, people did better than us. Dude, I don't even know. Forget break 200. Are we gonna be able to break our record? Like, I think our record's like 236. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, what did we just get? 341. Yeah, but that's with a complete fuck up. And then we gave up at the end. So we'll get in the lab. Keep it tuned around here. We will definitely beat this. See us break 200 shortly. That is coming up.
Yo,
but boys,
if Gaga Slanina was on the Chelsea US list for me.
Oh yeah. Show summary.
Let's see.
Chelsea USA.
Oh, 6.
Bottom right.
Oh, the Crystal Dunn.
Oh, it includes female players.
It includes women.
Crystal Dunn is like that would have been a pull.
3 of them. No. What? Naomi Girma
did not include Gaga or Caleb Wiley. So
shout out Naomi Girma. She is a stud.
Shout out me for that call.
Shout out Katarina Macario. Hope you're doing well.
Now we know a little bit more of the rules. They have to have been in a squad or something. All right. Let's get into the U.S. men's national team core. Named plenty of U.S. players here in this Wonder Grid. The U.S. men's national team will face off against Panama on Thursday in the Nations League semi-final. A pretty good roster. I don't think I have really strong opinions on people that should have been a part of it or not. I know Haji Wright was just coming back from injury after 3 months of being out. Ends up getting a hat trick. So maybe he's a shout to have been included. Serginho Dest just getting back from injury. He's not going to be included. That makes sense. But potentially some people leaving camp. Johnny Cardoso not going to be there for the team. He has a slight knock and is out for this camp. Austin Trusty has a knock. Not sure if he's going to be able to play. We have seen Jack McGlynn, Brian Gutierrez from the Chicago Fire to a hot start, and Arfston, the outside back, all at the U.S. training. So potentially they're being added to the roster, or they're just there to train with them while they're here in the U.S. Oh, boys, I think this is an interesting camp because this is the full roster. It's no longer the January camp. It's no longer the first
competitive game.
We're seeing, it's a competitive game, and we have a lot of players back. We have Tyler Adams back. We have a Gio Reyna back. You have Cameron Carter-Vickers for the first time in this squad. I mean, listen, it's his first time in there. It's his first time in camp with Pochettino. You have Josh Sargent getting a chance after Balogun and Pepe's injuries. Diego Luna. I mean, there's a lot of new players in this, and a lot of players that are kind of mixing in here. We've seen different systems with Pochettino. We don't get the answer to the kind of one of the bigger questions with Serginho Dest and Jedi Robinson both being back. We don't get to see that. We get to see a lot about Gio Reyna and Musah, where he sees them. Like, what do you want to see in terms of system and starting wise here? Because there is a lot of tactical flexibility with so many players here, with Weah playing as a right back now at Juventus, and Musah playing out wide for the US, but also somewhat inside in that same role. It's a lot of tactical flexibility, but how do you see it now with all players at Pochettino's disposal?
Even though it's a competitive match, it's something we want to win and should win. I want to see him test things out. There's not very many international windows left before the World Cup. What is it? Good point. Less than a dozen now,
5
10 or so.
This.
5 after this? Wow.
Less than a dozen.
Yeah. I mean, we're
way less than a dozen, brother. It's next year.
Hey, he was correct, Nick. He was correct.
I'm woefully unaware of that. But he hasn't had some of these guys at his disposal, so we have to try things out. Johnny missing's huge because I think he would have started in the midfield next to Tyler. So figuring out, I think so. I would have played that as a double pivot with McKennie ahead of him, but it gives you a lot of options now. Playing Musah in that role where he's been playing for Milan, but he's also moved around quite a bit as well. McKennie in a deeper lying role lets you play Reyna or another attacking midfielder at the 10, which we haven't seen Poch really do yet. We saw Matilman a little bit in those previous camps, but he obviously didn't look great. And we saw Aronson there as well, but he's a much different style of player. So trying to work some of those things in. He brought a couple of new strikers in. Obviously, Josh Sargent is the name, but Ajiman had a really great camp. He's one of the players who stood out in those previous camps. So does he get a legit shot here? Brian White, I don't think so. I think he's just a body in camp, but maybe. The biggest question I really have, though, is goalkeeper. So Zach Steffen's back. He, once upon a time, was the number one option, and still should be in the consideration for that. Had a great game on the weekend, 12 saves. Yes, he's in MLS, but Matt Turner's riding bench at Crystal Palace. Has played 2 games all season. He's got to deserve something based on what he's done for the U.S. Sure, but a new coach, that competition, that door has to be wide open. That spot has to be up for grabs. You can only play one goalkeeper per match, but I expect Zach Steffen to make a claim for that spot again.
Yeah, man, I think that's one of the 2 biggest things that I think are questions with this squad, Nick, is goalkeeper, because you have Matt Turner, who's been good with the U.S., but he just isn't playing. And Zach Steffen, yeah, maybe at a lower level playing in MLS, but his distribution has been good, albeit, in MLS where maybe it's not as much pressure. And he made 12 fucking saves. I mean, that's absurd. I mean, he's coming in form, so does that maybe change things, shake things up for the goalie position? And what does that mean for Matt Turner and what he has to do? And then I think it's Gio Reyna. What is he going to be seen as? Because in the pre-match conference that Pochettino did, or after releasing the roster, he said it's important to get Gio Reyna in, and mentioned that, yeah, he doesn't have a lot of time, but he has a lot of talent. And essentially saying, we need to get him in now because we're not going to have him this summer because of that dumbass club World Cup thing. So if he's still with Dortmund, clubs get first dibs on the players. They can choose to not release them for Gold Cup or anything else, any other summer.
They would have to.
They don't have to. It's up to the clubs. It's like the Olympics.
If I'm Gio, I terminate my contract if they don't release me.
I mean, that's the thing. Is Gio might be gone, but we're also going to be missing Weston McKennie and Tim Weah because they're with Juventus, which are also in that. So it's kind of stupid. But he said, Pochettino essentially said, yeah, we need to get a good look at Gio Reyna here, regardless of his playing time and his form, because we don't really know if we're going to have that chance in the summer. So he wants to get to know Gio Reyna. Does that mean he starts? Does it mean he plays in the system? He gets a real look at him in game time? Or do you think that's just training? I mean, what would you go for if you're Mauricio Pochettino coming to this game against Panama, where you're probably going to have a lot of possession? It's going to get maybe into 1 or 2 moments where Panama break down in their low block that you have a chance in. Is that calling out for Gio Reyna, or is it you stick with people that you've gone with maybe a Musah out in that wider position?
Listen, we've talked about it extensively on this pod, and yes, it has been a really rough year for Gio, or a really rough couple years, if we're being completely honest, at the club level, I should say. He is our probably most talented player. And yes, Pulisic's our best player, and it's not even close if we're being honest. But if we're talking pure talent, Gio might be number 1, and I think I would say he is number 1. And so I would definitely start him, and really that is the biggest thing I'm looking for from Poch, who I think has a bit of a reputation at the club level. I think he does a good job at the club level in the past of putting his best 11 players on the pitch. And I think we've seen that already a little bit in the camps that we've seen. Musah playing in that wide role, some guys playing in different areas. Yes, it's testing them out, but also he knows who his guys are. He knows who the talent is. He didn't just take this job and now is figuring it out. He obviously did extensive research beforehand, and he knows who his players are. He has seen the highest level of football. He understands who his best 11 players are. And I'm really, really, really curious to see how he is able to fit in his best 11 players into whatever his system is going to be. Does that mean Tyler Adams is playing right back? Does that mean a guy like Johnny eventually, maybe it's a 5-back and Johnny's in the middle or something like that? Does that mean that Timmy Weah is at right back? Does that mean that we have Pulisic at the 10? I don't know. I don't know what is going to happen, but I'm really curious because I think he has a really good understanding of talent. I think that's super fair to say. I think even at Tottenham, he would play Eriksen out wide in order to get different guys on the field. Perisic as a fullback, even though he kind of transitioned to that after he played him there. I think we're going to see something that we haven't seen before, and I'm really curious how that is going to work. And if you are fitting your best 11 players on the field, Gio Reyna is undoubtedly one of them. And so what is his role going to look like? I expect him to play both games, if I'm being honest. I fully expect to see a lot of Gio. I fully expect to see a lot of our good players. We are under 12 international windows until the World Cup. In fact, really under 12, but 5 actually, way under 12. So not many opportunities left. It's not cutting time. It's time to get serious, and that means the big boys come out and play.
Yeah, I mean, I think Pochettino doesn't really give a fuck about, well, how are people going to see this because he's not getting a lot of play time. He's just going to play who he needs to play and has the talent that can execute his plan. Gio Reyna,
you would think so.
Certainly in a fluid attacking system, seems like he would be that player. I wonder how it all works because you do have a lot of options. You have Timmy Weah, who's played in the wing for the US, but now is playing a lot of right back. Do you maybe move him back to that right back position, Nick? See him at the right back. See what you do with Jedi Robinson, maybe in that more central place he was playing in the previous camp. And I mean, what do you do to fit in the talent? Because I don't think Joe Scally is one of the top 11 players overall. But do you still run with him because of the defensive structure he gives you, that he's an actual defender? And quite honestly, Mönchengladbach is doing very, very well with him right now starting. So how much tinkering do you do with that defense, and who are you starting in that back four and goalie?
I would start Scally. I'm a defender at heart. I don't love the Timmy Weah experience. I know it's gone well for Juve with that right back position, but I just don't see him as a natural 1v1 defender. And I think there's other guys to help kind of insulate Scally in the attacking side of the ball, especially on that right-hand side. So I would keep Scally there. I'm really curious what he does in the center backs. Does he go with the proven veteran Tim Ream, who obviously has done it for a really long time, has had really high peaks. I think he's kind of, plateauing out a little bit at this point in his career. Does he give hopefully Trusty gets healthy for that second game? Mackenzie, who has flashed for this team before. Obviously, you're going to see Chris Richards. I don't love the Jedi in the middle either. He's incredibly valuable as our bombing left back, so I'd keep him there. But like I said, it has to be whoever he thinks the best players are. It's time to get serious, and it's time to see what you have and what changes need to be made.
Yeah, I mean, Jedi in the middle is also when Pulisic was at that 10 and kind of they were underlapping all over. An interesting way of playing there. Mike, in terms of the midfield, I mean, Nick talks about the options of, do you go with an older Tim Ream and Chris Richards and Mark Kent, and the different names there is one debate, but midfield might be the wildest because you don't really know exactly what the fuck Pochettino's thinking, because you're putting a Musah out wide potentially, you're putting him in the midfield. You have a Tyler Adams back, which he loved at Chelsea. He said that again in his interview, said, yeah, I love Tyler Adams. I tried to buy him at Chelsea, which he said 5 times now. So I think he's making it well known. He likes the man. So I think he might be a lock, but you also have a McKennie. You also have a Musah that's playing a lot. You've seen Pulisic at the 10. You have Gio Reyna back that can play the 10. I mean, Diego Luna, big cojones, as Pochettino says. Who do you think makes that starting lineup in the midfield?
I love some MMA, not mixed martial arts. McKennie, Musah, Adams. It's the trio that we've played the best ball in with this squad. I mean, think about that England game. Think about how much we bossed.
5 years ago?
Those 3 dudes, I mean, yeah, whatever it was, 2022. But they haven't had the chance to play together, all 3 of them, through injury or not getting selected, whatever it was, very often. And that is the best midfield. I think those 3 guys have to be on the field. Where you put them, that could vary a bit. Adams is definitely going to be one of the pivot guys. Musah is the most natural player to play there, but McKennie can do it as well. And if you play those 2 guys there, McKennie at the 10, it lets you play Reyna on the right wing. Or you could put Musah at the right wing, and you could let Reyna stay in the middle to play more of a 10 and have McKennie and Adams deep. I think any combination of those three guys, we need to see it. And then a combination where those three guys are on the field and then Reyna's also there, that makes the most sense to me. Nick mentioned about having the best 11 players on the pitch. Those four are certainly in the best 11. I think Tim Weah is definitely in the best 11 available for US when everybody's healthy. So he needs to be out there too. If that means playing him at right back, so be it. I think that's something I've wanted to see for a while. We've never seen it in the international scene. We saw fucking McKennie playing right back before we saw Weah there. So try it out. Maybe it does suck. Maybe Joe Scally is the better option there. But Weah offers a bunch of different attributes that Joe Scally cannot. Pace on the ball, delivering a ball into the box, all of those things. That's really what I want to see.
I still love the Tyler Adams right back, by the way, for what it's worth. I love the Tyler Adams right back.
A Premier League club's player of the month who's playing CDM and move him to right back, though.
If he's cool with it,
why can't you? Sorry.
He'd have no problem with it. Tyler Adams.
He's playing amazing at the center defensive mid role in the exact way the team would need him at CDM, and then you're going to move him to right back just to accommodate who's going in there.
To accommodate a Musah and a McKennie, to accommodate Gio. If you're telling me, because I don't like Gio. I don't like Gio at right wing, or right mid, or whatever you want to call it. So if you're telling me you move Tyler Adams to right back to get Gio in the 10, I think that's amazing. I think that's a great thing.
But I don't know totally works with how Poch plays with possession too. Tyler slides.
Also
in the middle,
true. Yeah, Tyler isn't going to play in the midfield. He's going to defend in the right back. He's going to play in the midfield though. He's going to defend out wide.
Yeah, but with Poch's system, he had even like Eric Dyer just drop in a little bit more towards the center. He's still playing a little bit further back in terms of just defensively handling stuff. And I want him more in the center of the field as a free safety rather than stuck out wide when you have options like we're going to have a Serginho Dest back. We're going to have Tim Weah, who's been playing right back consistently for Juventus. I think, Mike, that's a good shot to put him out there. And with Gio Reyna, I do agree, Nick. I'd rather see him at the 10 than that outside midfield, especially when Musah's done pretty well in that outside midfield role to help out with some of the action. And
I don't like Gio
with that out wide area. And I think Gio Reyna just in the center of everything. If you can play him in the center, that's a pretty good option. I also, if you do run with an MMA and have Musah, he's been playing in that system. Tyler Adams has been amazing in a center defensive mid role. And then McKennie's been playing the 10 for Juventus as well. So you have a McKennie and Weah that are almost used to the roles that you might have to push them into. And I think then we go into the attack here, boys. And this is where it gets, I think, the easiest. Is that you have Pulisic and Sargent, pretty much know all of that, and then it's probably just down to, are you playing Weah, Musah, or Reyna out wide? You kind of know that it's one of those three, and you're probably going to shift two of them into the lineup somehow or another. Maybe there's some type of rotation in that, but I mean, is there really another option? I know there's like a Diego Luna option, but I don't see anyone else other than those three. That seems like a pretty obvious attack right now.
To me, the big cojones comment is definitely like, I trust this guy in late game situations comment. It's a super sub comment in my opinion. So I think you're right. I don't think Luna's in contention to start. I think honestly, whatever this guy's name is, what's the name of the striker from wherever? Ajimang, yeah, whatever. I think he's closer to starting than Diego Luna is. I think Poch impressed him, and Sargent almost feels like he's there by default. So I don't know.
That seems crazy to say to a guy that's shooting up the championship golden boot leader. After
he's doing what? What is he doing?
Shooting up the golden boot leader.
He's an American.
Violence. Oh my god. Oh my god! You just can't even talk about Josh Sargent without more and more disrespect. Please, I mean, Josh Sargent definitely deserves to be here. He's been scoring nonstop for Norwich in a Norwich team that is not looking the greatest. He has been potentially the best striker in the championship this year. So excited to see him hopefully get a chance, not have a small knock that takes him out for the billionth time. Panama, there's not that much preview, to be completely honest. It is, if the U.S. plays how they should play, they should win. We know by Copa America, that doesn't always happen. The U.S. have to play well. They can't get beat by mind games. With that all being said, Nick, what is your score prediction here for USA-Panama?
Yeah, I expect a win. I expect a resolute victory. I expect an emphatic win, and I'm going 4-1 USA.
4-1. All right, Mike. You thinking it's going to be a goal fest like Nick?
4-1's crazy, especially with how well they played us this past summer.
Underberhalter, though, to be fair.
3-1. That's not much.
How do you say 4? That's crazy. Just to go 3-1, you got.
Yeah, it's wow.
4 goals. That's insane, man. That's disrespect. 3-1 is reasonable. Panama's a solid squad, but we're playing at home. We have the better players. We have Pochettino. Time to do something here. I think 3-1 is definitely doable. If you bomb out here in the semifinals, that's shameful.
Why are you even putting that out there, Mike?
Because it's a possibility.
No, it's not.
What did we do in our last real competition?
You're a traumatized man. It's a new era.
I am traumatized.
Please knock on wood, guys. What the fuck are you guys doing? Have you never?
I've been knocking on wood. What are you talking about?
I'm going 2-0 USA. I think it's going to be teetering on the edge of more than that. Cross my fingers, knocking on wood, doing everything I can to make sure I don't jinx it. But I want to see Poach with all these weapons now available. It's looked better camp by camp, even with the January camp. You see kind of system going and people looking better than they do in just regular MLS form. And so I'm excited to see everything kind of all come together here. I think Tyler Ramsey is a big part of what this system can look like with just the amount of pressing and defensive action he does and the intercepting he does, which would leave the final against either Canada or Mexico, Mike. And I think for many years, you would say you don't want to see Mexico. You'd prefer them to get knocked out because they were the biggest rival. Is that still true? Would you rather see Mexico or Jesse Marsch and the Canadians in the final here?
From competition-wise, I'd rather see Mexico. But like storyline, we have to see Canada here. Want to beat Jesse Marsch. I like Jesse Marsch. No real problem with him. But, dude, we got to shut him up. I mean,
it's a payback for our hockey team, bro.
Yeah, I mean, Canada had a great run in the Copa America. They were the standout team for CONCACAF for sure. And they're super talented. I mean, they have some of the best players in the CONCACAF, if not the best 2 players in the CONCACAF, along with Mr. Pulisic, obviously. So, still focusing on Panama. I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I know you two will, but Canada. Panama. Canada.
Asking who we'd rather face if we win.
You literally just said Canada. You are ahead of yourself.
You asked me. You asked me. I gave you an answer, but
you didn't have
to. Nick, do you agree with Mike there? I thought it was a little interesting. He said for the storyline, Canada. I would usually think the storyline is a traditional matchup of USA-Mexico and the gigantic rivalry that is. Is it now? Jesse Marsch snubbed by U.S. soccer previously, the talent that's there. Is it more entertaining of a matchup to face off against Canada now?
I mean, right now, yeah. Make them a 51st state, baby. Let's bring the Kachuk brothers in. Flip the coin. We can drop some gloves before the game, and then we can have
top 3 players in the CONCACAF.
Jonathan David, save our squad.
Yeah, dude. Come on, brother. I want to see Canada. They're definitely a better team. I think they beat Mexico, and I think that'd be a hell of a final.
Yeah, I think either side. There's some things to look for. Mexico with just a historic rivalry. Canada with that new budding rivalry with, of course, Jesse Marsch as their head coach versus Pochettino. It'll be a good watch here. Thursday night here, March 20th, USA versus Panama. Keep it tuned here for reaction, and of course, a big final against either Mexico and Canada. With some final words or not, we're in the outro.
Good score today.
Cafeteros versus Brazil on Thursday as well. Up los Cafeteros.
We forgot to mention Marlon Fossey. He should have a shot to start it right back.
What hair?
March Madness this week.
Boom.